Prosper, hey, 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 prosper, hey, prosper. We need to do better for our sons and our daughters. Spock said it best, live long, prosper.
Welcome back to the LLP podcast, Live Long and Prosper. I'm your host, Bernard J. Rackley, and I just want to thank y'all for tapping in today, man. We have a phenomenal, magnanimous guest by the name of Jay, the Money Mentor, and Jay Bowser, 33, is a San Diego native and co-founder of the suitably named nonprofit organization Paving Great Futures. And guided by his passion to mentor individuals who have encountered the same obstacles that he persevered through during his youth. Bowser is a credible messenger and a community leader whose main focus is social equity issues. He has a deep understanding of the challenges faced by former gang members and other system impacted individuals. Jay's expertise in these fields have awarded him seats on prestigious committees such as the Prop 47 Local Advisory Committee and the Citizens Advisory Board. He has turned his obstacles into opportunities and will continue to use his gift as a leader to guide individuals on a path to a greater future, man. So help me welcome Mr. Jay, the Money Mentor, to the show. Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. I mean, outside of being on this podcast and sharing whatever information I can share, just want to thank you and commend you for all the great work that you do and giving back to folks out here in the world and the community that need it, and just for being a good and true friend to myself and my family, man. So love you and good stuff there. And then as far as the bio goes, I wrote it a few years ago, so I'm no longer 33. I meant to update that. I'm 38 now. So 38 years now, but still doing the same great work.
I was wondering, I'm like 33. I'm like, my guy. I'm like, he's like a young, wise guy. I'm like, damn, 33. No. I've been tripping out about that the whole time. I'm like, I could have sworn he was closer to my age.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna bust his balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was I updated it, but
that is hilarious. I meant to ask you about that, but I was like, oh, he said 33. So hey.
I was about to ride with it. He was like, So what? It'll be 33 again right now.
Hey, 33, man. It's a state of mind, bro. I'm 29. You know what I'm saying? I'm 29. The grades we kind of try to make it more refined. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 29 in my mind. You dig?
He's like,
yeah, it's all in the mind, man. Age is a state of mind. So 33, 38, you're still doing great things out here for the community, man. So appreciate you, whatever age you are, brother, you're doing great things, man.
Well, real quick, to be honest, I've always looked towards hitting 40. For some reason, like in my mind throughout life, I was like, by 40, I'm gonna have a lot more things figured out, a lot more wisdom. And as I get closer, I can see that I have a lot of things that used to float my boat, don't really do that anymore. And I get to focus more on the goals, which I'm sure some things we'll talk about today is success and goals and whatnot. And as you get older and you can be more mature and focused, that does help out. So I'm looking forward to these years to come. It's great things to come from as we get older.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, we earned a lot. A lot of people aren't afforded this privilege to even have this age. You know what I mean? So being in this life that we done came from, we done lost a lot of homies, early. So 40 is like is a feat. I know at one point I didn't even see him past 25.
Yep.
You dig? So being in our upper 30s is a privilege that most aren't even afforded. So it's a gift. And that's why I didn't even die this, man. I earned all these grades. You dig? And I'm gonna keep them jugging, baby. Salt and pepper waves. How what's that? Royal Mandarin got the salt and pepper wings. Bernard J got the salt and pepper waves. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna
the Royal Mandarin.
Yeah, because I'm on a 75 hard, so I can't wait to get me some Royal Mandarin. I think I'm going in when I get off. Just put it that way. But anyways, so Jay Money Mentor, explain more about your name, the Money Mentor.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll bring it back to coming up my adolescence, right? So as a youth, I felt I was always attracted to money, right? I'll give you a story. I was 12 years old, and I wanted the new Guess outfit. Everybody remember back in the days, Guess was the hit. You wanted the Guess shirt, Guess jeans, and Guess. But it was very expensive, right? And my mother, at the time single mother, she couldn't, to pay that, it would have been, You got to put food on the table, right? Why are you gonna spend $200 on an outfit? So I said, you know what, it's time for me to get my, get my hustle on. So, I think I went and got some Reggie, did what I had to do with that. As a youth, we used to roll it up in the joints and blunts and sell it for a few dollars. And saved up some money, man, and went and buy my own outfit. And from there, I realized, like, man, if I make money, I can get whatever I want, right? So, of course, I didn't want to just, keep just trapping, right? My mom was like, you need to get a job. So she helped me get a job through Higher Youth. Got the job with Higher Youth for the summer, saved up some money, did that for the next couple of summers. And I got a car, my first car when I was 16, really 15, and then another one when I was 16. And did realize, man, if I make money, that it'll answer a lot of a lot of my problems. But I quickly realized as I became older, started making a lot more money, I was blowing a lot more money, and then hence the money mentor model, which is it's not how much you make, but it's how much you can keep. So I was making a bunch of money, but I wasn't keeping it. Right. So after blowing through so much money and I got older and I finally realized and learned how to start keeping money, saving money, investing money, I said, I need to share this with the community through our nonprofit, Paving Great Futures, mentor folks on how to manage their money. So yeah, that's it. Hence Money Mentor. Got into doing retirement plans for folks, life insurance, still do that now. So yeah, just became the Money Mentor. Want to help people make and save money.
Nice. And so Paving Great Futures, man, I love that name, by the way. That's a phenomenal name for a nonprofit, man. So give us more about this about this nonprofit. How did you come? How did it all come to fruition?
Yeah, oh man, it was God's work, man. It was God's work being that my father, Bishop Bowser, he was in gangs like I was young. He changed his life over in the 20s. It took me a little bit more 30 fully change my life. He changed that by about 23. So I seen him do that, so I knew it was possible. And he got into the nonprofit work, and so he was always, having me come talk to the youth, do certain things, trying to get me to change. And then about 10 years ago, my partner Armand King had reached out to me and Barry Harris, my other partner, and said, "Hey, what do we have in common? It's entrepreneurship." Armand had a restaurant that he was running when he got out of jail. I had several businesses that I was running. And Barry had got his master's in business out at Howard. And so through that, we said, hey, you know what? We all come from the Southeast. We come from the same community, but this entrepreneurship stuff and business stuff helped us get out. So we said, how about we create a program where we can teach the community entrepreneurship? So for Paving Great Futures, we have 6 core competencies. And the first core competency is entrepreneurship. We quickly realized not everybody can be or wants to be an entrepreneur. So we said, well, some folks may want to just get a job. So we help folks with job placement. But we quickly realized that people need some training to keep their jobs, right? Somebody just get out of jail, you place them in a job, they may not know how to act. And so we added on a third core competency, life skills. Now you have a job, you have a business, you got some life skills, you're making money, but you got to know how to keep your money. So we added our 4th core competency, financial literacy. Now from there, we realized, like, man, you could be doing everything right, but people may still be getting pulled over and harassed. You still may have gang enhancements, all these different things. So we're still being held back by these laws. So we added a 5th core competency, civic engagement, because we want to get involved civically to help change legislation and laws to help our people out. Then we realized sometimes you just need some quick hand up, right? You may need a meal that day so you don't go rob somebody. You may need some clothes on your back so you can't go get that job. So we did community outreach where we would, do food distributions and things of the sort. We have a love center. People get toiletry, cosmetics, different things they need. Our 6 core competencies with Paving Great Futures, that's kind of how we got started. And I'll leave you with our mission statement, which is to increase the health and wealth in underserved communities in order for marginalized and at-risk individuals to thrive socially, economically, and politically. So the health and wealth is really huge in our mission statement, especially being that this COVID situation is happening. So we like to focus on the better health and wealth in our community.
Man, that's amazing, man. You're doing some amazing things for the community, brother. Thank you for that, man. So with all these things you're juggling, you got your money mentor, you got these 6 core competencies, man. What does your morning routine look like?
So I'm big on discipline, right? So I have a personal Bowser family mantra, um, core values, you can say, and that's persistency, consistency, and determination. So you have to be persistent in whatever you do, consistent, and you got to be determined. So for me, that's how I look at life. So I typically wake up about 6 a.m. When I'm in super hard go time. I'll do the 5:30. Currently, it's about 6 a.m. Um, and the first hour is the most important hour of your day. And so with that first hour, you don't want to get on social media. So I don't get on social media. I don't start texting. I don't do all that stuff. Within the first hour, I go into my room. I have a yoga room at my house. I bring out the singing bowl, get that going. I'll meditate, practice on my breathing, in and out, working on my diaphragm. And then just try to be what do you call it? The nowhere? What do you call it?
The now here.
And now here, there you go, the now here. So try to spend some time in the now here, maybe about 15 minutes or so, and meditation, and then I'll go into about another 15 minutes of a stretching, yoga type stuff, and then I'll go hit the gym. Go hit the gym for about an hour. Then when I get back from that, and it can either be the gym or I'll go do some jujitsu. Martial arts is really good for relieving stress, and it really relates to life with the struggle of learning it. And then come back home and get ready. I work 2 days out of the week down here in San Diego, so I'll drive down Monday and Wednesday, and then I'll stay up the other days and work from home. So that's typically how the beginning of my day works and the work day flows. Once I get off, I try to make sure to make family time, right? And those that are familiar with Og Mandino and the greatest salesman ever lived, I believe is what it's called. He talks about, I believe it was scroll number 10 or 11, not bringing work back into the home and then not bringing home with you to work. So once I get off, I try to switch gears. I'm all focused on my son, take him to his practices, whatever sports he's doing at the time, focus on my family, and really get that downtime and relax.
That's amazing, man. So a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of stillness, get your body some stretching, and then get out there and get that drippy life. Yeah, I can dig that, man. That drippy life, man. So why are you so passionate about what you're doing?
Man, for me, it was no other option, right? I'm gonna be honest. I've had so many friends die and go to jail, and it was during one of my last young homies was like a little brother to me. He got life, and I was in the courtroom, like, and I watched him get life. I watched his mom, break down. I watched the victim's family break down. I watched one person's dead, another person shot, a person that was shot snitched, and all this stuff, right? And then, I'm dealing, with a young homie who's like, yeah, I didn't do this, right? So you possibly have an innocent man, black man going to jail for something he didn't do. You have someone that died, and you have someone that shot and told. Now their life is ruined. All these families are affected by it. And at that moment, I seen the bailiff in the courtroom laughing, and I seen the prosecutors laughing, the defense laughing, and the judge laughing. There, but maybe they're talking about going to eat at Panera Bread for lunch, something like that. Had nothing to do with Black Lives. And I realized this is a game, and we're the ones getting played. Like, we're the losers in this game. Like, they're playing us. We over here destroying ourselves, and they just laughing about it. It's how they pay their salaries for their family, put their kids through college, and this means nothing to them. That courtroom didn't have no serious feel. It was just another day of putting some black people away. And from there, I said, you know what, I need to dedicate my life to changing, because I've been pushing negativity through when I did music. I was pushing negativity when I was in the streets. I was pushing negativity in my neighborhood, pushing negativity. And I said, it's time for me to change. And I always looked at life like scales. So my negative scale to me, one side was really outweighing the positive. So I said, it's time for me to kind of balance these scales out. And I feel like right now the positive side is definitely outweighing the negative. So I feel good about life. Feel good about that. So that's how I got into it. Literally just got tired, man. The gig was up. Said it's time to get out here and do God's work. And some people aren't spiritual, very spiritual. I was living a life, years ago, and I was headed to go do something illegal activity. And I remember seeing a church, and it was like, at that time, and it's something that was like God speaking to me, like, man, you got to change. Then another time, shortly after, I was driving on the freeway and I seen a tree, and I just felt like this overwhelming feeling in my body, looking at the tree, like, God created that tree. That tree is living. I'm living. We're all connected. I'm connected to the higher source. I have a higher calling, and then from there just changed my life around.
Yeah, man, because you can say you're doing some phenomenal things out there, man. And like you talked about the scales, like the yin and the yang. It talks about that in the yin and the yang. It's like in so much darkness, it has that little light, it has that little bit of light in it, and in all that light, it has a little bit of darkness in it as well. You know what I mean? So for me, one time I was out of balance. I went to a natural healer, or like what's the people call it, like a
I mean,
huh?
shaman.
Not a shaman, but like a person that does like acupuncture. So
Oh
like
yeah.
acupressurist, and he was telling me, he's like, dude, you have so much yang, like you have a yang deficiency. You know what I mean? And I was having night sweats, I was having all these different things, and he whipped up some tea and put some little, put the acupuncture into my ears, and it was pretty interesting. But since then, I haven't had night sweats like I used to.
Wow.
But like you talk about that balance, like sometimes your energetic balance could be off, which could be affecting different things in your beingness. And I think a lot of people just are unaware of that. So good perception to see that things are like scales. You know what I mean? That is how life is really working for us. You know what I mean?
And I'll drop another one. It's from the book Course in Miracles, I believe. And it talks about darkness doesn't really exist, right? So I started to think about myself like the bad side of me, even like that didn't really exist. It's just darkness is really just the absence of light. So if you look at a room, right, and the room is dark, right, quote unquote, and you go in there and you light a match. Soon as you light a match, right, it's light in there, right? Now, how much darkness can you bring in that room to make it back dark again over that light?
Zero.
Exactly. So that means that there really is no darkness. There's only the absence of light, because there is no amount of darkness that can overcome that light. And so that light is always lit inside of us. Sometimes we just don't see it or aren't aware of it. But once we focus our attention on that light and it starts to grow, it casts out all the darkness. And it really is no amount of darkness that can come back in that can put that light out. Even if you may feel down, you may feel like you're going through some bad times or you're doing some bad stuff, that light is still there. And once you focus on it again, it's gonna shine and push the darkness away. There's always keep that in your life.
I like that quote. That's a phenomenal quote. You said that's a Course in Miracles.
Yeah, book from the Course in Miracles.
Oh, okay, awesome, man. I definitely got to check that out. I've heard great things about that book. So what challenge or challenges in life has shaped you into the person that you are today?
Man, I would say for sure, having strong mom that raised me as a single mother, for most of my childhood, and then my father, for once I had to move with him, I was kept getting in trouble as a teenager. That was really pivotal to have that man give me that guidance as I was becoming an adult. I've seen some friends of mine that didn't have fathers, and you can kind of see the difference. Like we both were getting trouble, but at the same time, I started to quickly realize consequences because I've had my father kind of tell me, "Hey, look, I've been there, I've done that. This is what's going to happen." And me having that guidance, I think I was able to shape up, a lot quicker than if I didn't have a father around. And then having a strong mom that was trying to be father and mother in my early years. She was so strong that I would be on restriction a lot if I messed up. So I knew that I learned early on there's consequences to my actions, even though I may have kept making those bad decisions. I had in my mind that there was consequences, and there's some people that just don't have that guidance. And if you don't understand that there's consequences to your every cause has an effect, if you don't understand that early on, then you're doomed.
I agree, man. So shout out to the Bowser clan, man. Shout out to the Bowser clan because they've raised a really positive young man, man. So Bowser, what's your favorite movie?
It's funny because as soon as you were saying it, the first thing that pops in my head is Scarface. So Scarface, it has to be Scarface because he started from nothing and built the empire. Like no matter what you say, it was built off of. I mean, in America, something's always be attached to something bad in a sense, right? Capitalism is capitalism. Like there's winners, there's losers. But he built the empire, and I think there's a lesson to be learned from that. Is that from 48 Laws of Power, another book, and I like to when I do these things drop books because I can say so many words, but if you go pick up a book that I'm saying, it will change your life. Hopefully, like it changed mine. So 48 Laws of Power says don't overshoot your mark is one of the laws. And I think he just overshot his mark, right? And always trying to find the cheaper route or the cheaper plug isn't always the right thing to do. With business, I find myself when I run businesses, I try to go find the cheapest vendor, and I may bite me, turn around and bite me, in the butt later. So that movie had a lot of lessons in it if you really, really, really pay to it. Now, then my second movie, or really right next to it, would be Coming to America because I like to laugh, and
Yeah, that's a classic.
Where's the spoon? Aha!
That's a classic movie, man.
Yeah.
So did you like the second one? Did you like the Coming to America Part 2? Have you watched that one just yet?
Yeah, I actually like it. So the first one was my favorite, and I like the second one too because I think second ones usually don't do well, but that one it was still good to me. It wasn't as good as the first one. Like no Part 2 is usually good as the first one, but that held up. It was good.
Oh yeah, I thought they brought in some good young black actors. Let them get their shine on, and then it was a good way to kind of segue to the older black actors. And help them pay homage to what was going on. The Wesley, he was playing a hilarious role in that one. Michael Blackson had me dying.
Yeah. And if I can say, like growing up in the hood, like we always watched movies, we would remember movies and things like that. And so a third movie would be Five Heartbeats. And so I'll leave it there. That was my top three. So Five Heartbeats. Nights like this, I wish.
Oh yeah, man. Oof. Eddie Kane went out like a buster, but and sometimes it happens, man.
Kane with Eddie Kane.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens, man. So yeah, Scarface was a great movie. Scarface was a phenomenal movie, and definitely Coming to America is definitely one of my top 5 movies as well, man. So what's the biggest challenge that you're facing on your journey at the moment, and how are you overcoming it?
Man, I would say getting what you ask for, right? So you do these vision boards, you ask for certain stuff, and me and my buddy, your buddy too, we're a cold trio, but Jonas Royster, we always say to each other, like, this is what you asked for, right? So right now, as I'm building up businesses and as it grows and it expands, right? When they say more money, more problems, I mean, that's true, but it's not a bad thing. It's more money, more problems, because in every problem and every obstacle, there's an opportunity, right? Every problem, there's a solution. So as I'm coming across bigger problems, that means it's just bigger solutions, right? And bigger opportunities. But it is trying at times because you may say like, man, you may be busy a lot throughout the day. You're trying to build your empire. Obstacles are coming. You're coming up with solutions. You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But then now you start to realize, am I exchanging time? I don't want to exchange time for money. There was a wise man named Bernard Rackley that told me one time there has to be an easier way, right? And so I took heed to that. I was like, you know what? There has to be an easier way to leverage what it is that I want to do to build my empire. So now coming into this year, I'm more so focused on make sure I focus on family. Beautiful wife, beautiful daughter on the way, my son. Focus on family, more nature, more self-care, mind, body, spirit, and find ways that I can invest money, and then it goes out there, right? Has little, babies. Those babies grow up, have more children, and let my money just keep multiplying, instead of trading my time for money. So I'm trying to have that switch this year. So yeah, that would be the obstacle I would say is that the bigger you get with building empires, you start to trade more time for money.
I love that, man. Yeah, I'm reading this book, The Almanac by Naval. I hope I'm saying the name right, Naval Ravikant, and he talks about that. And in the book, it was hilarious because this year started off kind of rocky. Omicron dance. Omarion danced his way on into my household. Doing it. So it kind of knocked my momentum down in a sense. You know what I mean? And when I picked up that book, like you said, God has a way of just putting things right in your path that you're supposed to have at that time. And I got the book for Christmas, and I started reading in the beginning. I was kind of like, this book is going to be kind of weak. But as I started reading, he dropping dummy nuggets. But one of the nuggets he talked about is leverage. He's like, if you really want to be rich, you have to create leverage. And there's three types of ways of creating leverage. There's creating leverage through people. You know what I mean? So you could build a business and network marketing or something like that, where you can have people under you that you're creating leverage through them. However, people are people, humans are humans, and they have their own issues. You know what I mean? So he said that's a great way to create wealth. It's just what he considers to be it'll be number 3 on the list. Number 2 is putting capital to something, investments, things that you're doing. That's going to create leverage, through investments and things of that nature. And he says number 1 way to create leverage is by creating like a product of some sort. So he's like software. He said software and coding are like the 2 right now that are just like, if you can create a software, you can code, you're in the game. You know what I mean? But then he also talks about like writing books, podcasts, things of that nature, where you can leverage technology. He said that's the number 1 way to create wealth. And so, as I'm on my journey at this moment, I was like, I just thought it was speaking to me on a deeper level. And like you said, that leverage, creating that leverage, man, is that's the way to create rich, to really get rich and create happiness as well. Because you can say you're not necessarily trading your time for money. You're actually you're creating your mind for money. And as I'm sleeping, I'm getting views. You know what I mean? So my money is coming up as I'm sleeping, and so it's like you said, it's not a time for money thing anymore. It's more mind for money, and I think that's a great nugget for our listeners to to absorb.
Mind for money. I like that. And I like how you speak to passive income. That's what I'm trying to create. I have in my statement of money. I call it. I read daily. I talk about be able to create passive income so that I can live the life that I want to live. Right. I love fishing. I think I can be out fishing a lot more and traveling if if you have that passive income. Right. So I agree.
Oh yeah, man. Man. Whenever you get some of that more of that tuna, man, I need to get a bar of that, bro.
And we just smoked the last of it too. I had a whole bunch I would gave you, but we're going again this summer. So yeah, I'll be out there. So yeah, you can come with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So who have been the most 2 influential people on your journey thus far?
Oh wow. Man, I can't even narrow it down to 2. Let me just start. Can I just name some people? I don't even think it would be fair to name 2. Um, so I would say non-profit wise. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. I'll bring it back. Of course, God is number 1. It's God. Relationship with God is so strong. It's been strong even when I was young, when I wasn't going to church, things like that. Then when got in did church for a little bit. Then I started going on my own spiritual journey. It's always been God. I feel I have a strong connection with the universe, God, the source. Next will be parents, right? Strong parents. I'm just blessed to have strong parents. Both come from the streets. Both, became better individuals, changed their life around, and just I'm blessed with great parents. Of course, my wife, and she keeps me balanced, man. I probably would be a freak monster or animal out here without a strong wife. My backbone is just reality. She's my center and stuff like that. So yeah, that I want to start with that. Now, outside of that, if I go back to entertainment days, when I first started, my first business was a music record label. When I was 19 years old, it was an S corporation. I learned about corporations, and I would say at that time, Mac Dre was a good mentor because he had told me some stuff that stuck with me forever before he passed, and he was like, at times you got to dedicate 6 months of your life, right, at least to just focus on your craft. No hustling, no this, no that, no hanging with homies, no that. If you got some project you're working on, at the time it was music, focus on that for 6 months. Give it undivided attention until you get it done for at least those 6 months. And that's how I approach things with life. I got something I'm working on, I want to give it all my attention and really focus on it. So with the music game, he was real influential in helping with that. Then I would say with the nonprofit, Rudy Johnson with the Neighborhood House, that's a $40 million a year nonprofit. So from the very beginning, he took us under his wing and showed us step by step how to form a nonprofit, how to run it, how to do everything. And that's how we were able to grow to the size that we're at now, is because of his mentorship. So mentorship is truly key. I would say with life insurance, definitely, our buddy Brett Moore. Brett showed me that, a young black man, in this industry, if you apply yourself, you can thrive. I used to have insecurities being coming from the community, the neighborhood I come from, my background, and thinking if I go sit down with, some white folks needed me, they may look at me as lesser than, or I may say the wrong word. But Brett Moore is a great mentor in that industry, helped me build up that confidence and know that I can thrive in that arena. And so yeah, so that there, let's see. So yeah, that's and then I want to do a spiritual one. Um, so I want to do a spiritual one. I think a spiritual one is as a group, and as a group spiritually, I believe having accountability partners like yourself and Jonas, on a spiritual tip, as being brothers from the community we come from, that helps me as having accountability partners and mentors, spiritually. So yeah, that would be the list.
Okay, man. Well, definitely got to give a shout out to Miss Lena, man. Delana, I mean, I know she's got that got your daughter on the way, and she's a champion, man. She's a rider, and definitely want to got to give her flowers while she's alive. And shout out to Brett Moore. Shout out to everybody that's been influential on your journey, man. And like you said, you had a few, but you're giving them their flowers while they're alive, and that's amazing, brother. I appreciate that.
For sure, for sure.
Yes, sir. So how are you looking to impact the world with what you do?
Ha, that's a great question and the perfect timing, because I was just having a question again. I mean, the conversation again with our brother, Mr. Royster, and I was like, okay, I feel like I spent these last 10 years with Paving Great Futures, showing people how to change their life around from negative to positive, get a job, start a business, take care of their family, not go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused and better your life. But that's that level. But I said I feel like now the universe is pushing me to say, okay, J Money Mentor, it's time to become wealthy, get these millions, and then come back and show other people in your community how to get these millions. Right. Another mentor is an individual, South African white guy, named Neil Gross. He's with Chef Works. It's a large multi-million dollar organization that makes the linen for restaurants and stuff.
Hmm.
And as he was mentoring us, he said, "So what are you guys doing to make money for the nonprofit?" We said, "Oh, we're doing flippers, fish and chicken, and we're doing some catering." He said, "Hey, look, guys, selling fish and chicken isn't going to get you guys rich. You guys need to get rich and show your community how they can get rich, and that's how you'll uplift your community." And that stuck with me. I was like, you know what? That sounds about right. We need
Yeah.
economics, our own wealth, and until I can have those millions, right, and create those millions self-made, then I want to show other people this is how you create millions. So my next goal is to get those millions myself, right? Manifest that, work for it, make it come. Then before I move on in life, pass in life, is to create at least 10 more millionaires in our community that have direction to go create more millionaires themselves. So that's a new mission moving forward.
I like that, man. So create millions and then create millionaires who can go off and create other millionaires.
Yeah, and there's a book called The Five Levels of Leadership by Malcolm Gladwell or something like that, and so he talks about that with leadership. Like when you get to that next level is when you can create another leader. So like I want to be able to help create another leader that creates an organization like Paving Great Futures that gets to our level, and then that helps me get to the next level of leadership, right? So that's what I'm trying to get to, is that next level of leadership by creating some millionaires.
Nice, brother. That's a great mission to have, my man. And I wish you all the success on that, my brother. That's amazing. So, Mr. Bowser, so what's your favorite quote? I know you're a quote guy. What's your favorite quote, and who is it by?
W.B. Du Bois. So W.B. Du Bois would be my favorite quote, and he says the 10% of us that make it out have to come back and help out the other 90%. And I think that's what Paving Great Futures is all about.
Ooh, I like that, brother. That was right. I was right off the dome too. So he keeps that cocked and loaded, baby. Yes, yes. So going back to the 11-year-old Jay, what was your
Mm.
favorite? What was your favorite Saturday morning? Going back to 11-year-old Jay, Saturday morning. What was your favorite cereal and your favorite cartoon?
And real quick about that, I was meditating once. I think maybe you told me to do that. I can't remember, but I was listening to a book called The Untethered Soul, and it talked about talk to your inner child. And I meditated one time, and I went and talked to my inner child, and I broke down in tears because it was very powerful to talk to my inner child, but past me, and apologize and say, "Hey, I know you probably thought." think you would be different, by now, or things would be different. You had this, you had that, or, because I mean, not like where I'm at now in my life, I'm pretty happy and, positive, but this journey has been a pretty tough journey. And I've created a lot of chaos along the way and destruction. And I'm sure my younger inner me didn't think that I would cause this type of destruction on this path. So, and then my inner child said, it's okay. I forgive you. You still got time. And so I know I got time to still do more and more great things. But as far as TV show and cereal, I would say Cinnamon Toast Crunch was always a hit for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, I love cartoons. Let me see. I like Doug. Doug was pretty good.
Doug was amazing.
Yeah, Doug was good.
Patty Mayonnaise. Yeah, she was the gal.
Yeah. Rugrats, all that Nickelodeon stuff, man, was my stuff. He-Man. So yeah. So I wouldn't have a number one favorite. I even watched Maya the Bee, man, and the gnomes. I had all kind of I used to let it play on Nickelodeon, especially Saturday.
The gnomes. I haven't heard the gnomes in a while, bro. The gnomes were trippy, bro.
Dragon Rock, it wasn't a cartoon, but it was Muppets. But yes.
I'll consider that a cartoon. It was in that era, you know what I mean? It was what was that? Jim Henson. He had some great stuff with Muppet Babies and Fraggle Rock, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm a cartoon guy. I mean, I watched Family Guy as an adult. Like Family Guy is still one of my favorite cartoons. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that Cinnamon Toast Crunch, brother. Man, oh my God, you just got like you said, I'm on that 75 hard, so I haven't had no sweets or nothing like that in the last 4 weeks, man. I'm about to, man. Ooh, I'm looking at May 12th, like, brother, it's gonna be a day of. I might gain all that weight back on May 12th, bro. Wow, I'm eating everything in sight, Jack.
Hey, you get to pick your diet. So, what diet did you pick?
I'm doing intermittent fasting, but just low carb. You know what I mean? So I'm not doing low. I'm not eating sugars, or I'm not eating heavy carbs as well. So I've had like some keto bread here and there. But I'm just staying away from all the fast food and fried foods and sugars. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Still doing my intermittent fasting on my cardio days. However, just doing a low carb diet right now.
That's good to hear. How much have you lost any weight since you started?
I haven't really been on the scale. I'm looking to just reduce my body fat. That was my goal, just to get down to 10% body fat. Right now I'm at about 16. So. Still got a ways to go, but I'm focusing more on my body fat.
I like that. One more thing, the book Atomic Habits. Like I told you, I'm gonna name a lot of books in this interview. But Atomic Habits, it talks about instead of focusing on the goal, focus on the process, right? So you're just focusing on the process. You're not like, I got a goal of losing 10 pounds, because the losers or failures and people that are successful, they both have the same goals, right? But what's the difference between the people that are successful hitting them? They have a process that they stick to, and they trust the process. So it's not like for you, you're just trusting the process, sticking to it, and whatever happens from it happens. But the goals come from you focusing on the process and not the goal. So
I just jumped into it right after, we started right after Christmas, so I wasn't really focused on weight loss necessarily. I know I was going to be fluctuating in weight after Thanksgiving and a Christmas feast. You dig? So talking to one of my mentors, she was like, I had mentioned to her that I wanted to remove 15 pounds, and she was like, well, what's the overall goal? And I'm like, well, the overall goal is to be down to be down to 10% body fat. And she's like, well, just focus on that rather than weight. So that's what kind of gave me a different shift in my mindset on where I should be focusing. And as long as I'm not eating fat, or eating the wrong types of fats, the trans fats, the pizzas, all those bad fats for you, then by what I'm doing every day, I should be reducing body fat, and it's been working like a charm. So
I agree, man. Being that muscle weighs more than fat, right? So I always heard that trainers say don't focus on the weight in your scale, because you could be looking way better, but it's all muscle, and then you maybe end up weighing more, right? So I agree.
Exactly. I mean, in high school, I earned all this muscle. You know what I mean? I earned it. So I was 225 in high school with under 15% body fat. You know what I mean? So even when I get down, when I'm working out like crazy, I couldn't get past 221. It was hard. Well, I got down to 218. But 218, 221, I'm not really necessarily worried about the weight. I just want to get down to that nice ripped and that nice shred. So having that goal in mind and just working on body fat, that's what I really want. So the weight doesn't really matter to me because I know I've already earned all this mass, and now it's just time to just shred it all down. You dig?
Yeah, you want to have a gigolo waist. I know what you want, man.
Oh man, come on, man. I'm a married man now. You dig?
Had that gigolo waist for your wife, man.
Oh man, she's gonna love it, baby. We're gonna do some nifty things this summer. I tell you what, I'm out there peeled. Boy, I'm out there peeled and flexing any chance I get, Jack.
As you should. And I know I can't wait to see. I mean, you got a little powder puff hair patch right there.
Oh man, I think I done gained like 2 hairs from it. I done gained another 2. That 2 done popped out. Shoot, I ain't playing around.
Feel blessed for that because I can't stop mine from growing, man. So I gotta shed every so often.
This is all this that good Native American in me. You know what I mean? It just keep me nice and trim. I need to be a swimmer. You know what I mean? I'll be aerodynamic with no hair.
Hey,
go.
You'll be streamlined.
Streamlined. So, Mr. J. Bowser, so what does prosperity mean to you?
Prosperity. So to me, in general, I would say being happy at whatever it is I'm doing, right? So if I have to work and I'm working a job, I'm prosperous at it if I'm happy at it. I'm a father, I'm a husband, so if I'm prosperous at it, I see prosperity in that aspect of my life if I'm happy at it, happy doing it. There's people that are rich and aren't happy. There's people that are married and aren't happy. So as long as I'm happy, I'm enjoying the journey, not the destination. That's prosperity for me, man.
I like that. That's a great answer, my man. That's a great answer. So where can my High Vibe tribe find you online? Give us a few links to where they can find you.
Yeah. On Facebook and Instagram is J_money_mentor. So you can check me out there. I'm on LinkedIn under JAY and then Bowser. And then Paving Great Futures. Check out our website, pavinggreatfutures.org. You can go there, check out our program, sign up. You can make a donation. You can sign up to volunteer. Paving Great Futures is also on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook under Paving Great Futures. So just check us out. I do Money Monday videos every so often. I'm gonna pick them back up, and we drop jewels. You can go look at some of our past Money Monday videos and get some financial literacy information. But definitely sign up for our classes. It's virtual right now. You can come on Zoom, join with us, and learn how to start a business, learn finances, learn all kind of stuff. So really, really exciting times right now. That we're virtual, we're reaching more people. So join us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So sometimes things happen, that could be looked at as negative, but at the end of the day, it's more positive because now you're able to reach more people. And I know a lot of people are capitalizing off this virtual world. So, thank you for all that you're doing out here for the community, brother. I appreciate you. And is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with before we depart?
Just always like what Bernard just said, always focus on obstacles, turning into opportunities, right? So you may be going through some tough times, but maybe it's just God preparing something greater for you. So always think of what opportunity is going to be in that obstacle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What the great Napoleon Hill says, there's a seed of equivalent benefit in every obstacle. You know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
I love that, man. I love that, man. So thank you guys for tapping in, man. J Money Mentor, you've been a great, great guest. And we'll definitely see you in the future. And I'm definitely wishing you much prosperity on your journey, my brother.
Thank you. I want to commend you for all the great work you're doing. You're inspiring people with 75 Hard, doing that, with your yoga, spirit, all the spiritual stuff you do, meditating. So keep it up. Keep up the great work. Great family, man. So stick doing what you're doing. Thank you for having me. It's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. This is my honor, my man. So thank you guys for tapping in today, and keep going and keep growing, you guys. Let's get it, man. Peace.
Prosper. Hey, prosper. Hey, prosper. We need to do better for our sons and our daughters. Spock said it best. Live long, prosper.